Right.
Hey, Tony, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but I can't see you.
It said that you may like to watch the show YouTube as you, and it's all over, otherwise you're watching. There's a guy, I think they actually make them.
Yeah.
The world's largest.
Checked it out. No, I haven't seen it.
Still there.
They employed a bunch of, it's just like every one of these, I did, going back to the beginning, I mean, things are $1,000.
Whatever.
I can find it, but it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and
They got
some of the stuff that I don't give people enough credit for, it's just like.
No.
We'll talk about it. And I'll see if I can find the video for you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's so the other thing is that there's a ton of videos on YouTube about video synthesis.
Okay.
Really cool things that I actually own.
Okay.
My brother was.
Does he? Well,
He has an audio shop and he specializes in that.
where's he at?
Virginia. And a friend of mine, a guy who used to work for me, lives in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
And he's got all the old loads and all that.
Yeah.
And the ham, you know, he does total restorations, you know, everything. Oh, man.
I've got it. I bought a new. 1979. Yeah, I mean, it's seen some attention, you know, that way.
They need it after. They need it after, like,
Do you know what they cost? I could get probably $7,000 or $8,000. I bought it for $1,800. That wasn't exactly that. That's really cool.
And I don't think.
Okay, whichever that works for you. You got 40 hours. But if you let go. You guys don't figure out.
You know, that was probably.
We'll talk about my.
Yeah, please.
Stop us like that. That's not even the worst thing I've ruined today. Oh, I mean, that's never stopped me in the past.
Yeah.
Understand what's going on.
Okay, 7:30, let's call the meeting to order.
To the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
With liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call please. Mr. Pareno,
Here.
excellent. Where? Mr. Dantley,
Here.
Mr. Harney,
Here,
Mr. Thorne, Mr. Nimitz. Here. We have a full house with all five trustees present, either in person or online. According to the gubernatorial proclamation by the governor, we are once again able to go remote. So Mr. Harney is joining us remote from the sunny southwest. That means that the clerk will have a speaking role this evening on any votes that need to be taken, because all votes will be by roll call. Since Mr. Harney is remote. Okay. Minutes, we have a motion to approve the minutes of March 6, 2023.
So moved, Diatley. Second, Nemec.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Nemick. Any corrections or additions to the minutes? Being none, roll call. Mr. Pareno.
Abstain since I wasn't at the meeting.
Mr. Nemick,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Harney,
aye,
Mr. Dadley.
Aye.
Okay, 4 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so carries. Thank you all. Next item, the presidential report. I've already noted the gubernatorial proclamation allowing remote attendance at the meeting this evening. One other quick item is that the governor did sign the paid leave for all in Illinois this past week. That will affect the village. Mr. Van and Chief Parma and Kyle will have to take care of those issues as they come forward in the future. Those will impact us to some degree. Other than that, I don't have anything for this evening. Move to the clerk's report.
I have nothing to report other than in the agenda packet, I included copies of an email that I received from Kane County regarding economic interest statements, along with further explanation regarding the completion of this form, since it's a newer version of the form. That is pretty much FYI for anyone that will have to file an EIS form here shortly. Anyway, than that, I have nothing to report.
All right. Johnny? Planning and zoning. No report from planning and zoning. Attorney's report. Attorney's report this evening. Engineer. No engineer's report. We move to the finance. Man.
First, a motion for the approval of the accounts payable in the amount of $118,661.98.
So moved.
Second, Diatley.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Diatley to approve the accounts payable of March 20th, 2023 in the amount of $118,661.98. Any additions, deletions, comments, questions? Being none, roll call please.
Mr. Nimitz,
Aye.
Mr. Pareno,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne.
Aye.
Mr. Dadley,
Aye.
Mr. Harney.
aye,
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so passes. Thank you all.
The other item I have is, it's more for starting next year. Currently, we are using American Legal as our electronic copy of our village ordinances. In conversations with the clerk, he's not exactly a happy camper with that. And there is a per page cost that with the last several revisions, we are talking $1,000 upon thousands of dollars. I'm actually trying to look up right now what the last bill was, but I think the last bill was like $4,500. So since we have moved our website to Municode, they have joined forces with Civic Plus, so it's one organization. And so to have a more integrated type situation is, I believe that what we should do is have Civic Plus host our online code stuff. It may seem like more upfront with American Legal, it's $500 a year, but then there's, like I said, the per page copy for every revision we make. And even though if it's a minor change, it could take 10 pages. Because of every other ordinance that is affected by that a minor change. What Civic Plus is offering is it's $450 to host, and then they have bundles of stuff, but which is $11.95, and then another one for $150. But what they would do is they would update our ordinances no matter how many changes we make 4 times a year for $1,800. So our yearly cost would basically be about $3,300. The first year will be a little bit more, it'd be $3,355, because we would be getting 3 hard copies of all the ordinances, and then they would give us a supplemental ordinances on hard copy. They would do everything online. And one of the other features what they're going to offer is that in the interim, before they update the online version, they're going to have a tag that will show in the ordinances that this thing is currently being updated, and it will then refer them to what the updated ordinance is. As it happens right now with American Legal, is that we do the ordinance change, we have to wait for them to decide when they're going to update it, and so anyone using the sit down between now and the update has no clue that that update has happened. What I've been trying to do is upload those ordinances starting with the beginning of the year on the website, so at least there is a place for them to find what the new ordinance is. So my recommendation is that we would move to Civic Plus starting May 1st with the first year cost of $33.55. The only thing that I don't like is that they have an automatic 5% increase every year. But based on inflation, it kind of is what it is.
If I could also add there, since historically the village has gone to Sterling Codifier, small independent shop that got acquired by American Legal, which is this humongous organization, and American Legal's interest in Sleepy Hollow has gone downhill, and as a result, there's personnel changeover at American Legal, and we have no idea who we're talking to half the time. The other thing that's very important that you need to remember, especially when you're doing a cost comparison, is that we've been talking a lot about major reorganizations and rewrites of various code sections. That would be an enormous cost if we stay with the American Legal as opposed to going through Civic Plus. And Civic Plus is a much more logical search engine for people that want to look through it, so it'll be relatively easy for people to get used to.
And I'll add to is going to Eugene is that we have spent money from people trying to either Mark or Barb updating codes, going to the website, looking to see what the current code was, not knowing there was a previous ordinance out there otherwise, and then we end up paying double because we actually put the old ordinance back in the code book and have to redo it. So we've done that numerous times over the last 8 years. So it would be, you know, just because of the time, or I should say years. How long have we been with these guys, Tony?
For American Legal?
Yeah.
American
Beginning of the time.
Well, Sterling for.
Yeah, but American Legal. That's
Actually about 4 years now.
yeah. So in the 4 years, it's just, you know, and right, it takes forever for it to get updated and there's no way of knowing. So that would be a great thing.
Customer support for Civic Plus has been outstanding. You know, when I have a problem with the website or I want something changed or whatever, an email to them, and usually within an hour or so, they're emailing back. Is this good enough, or, you know, do any changes, or, you know, they have just been very responsive. Sounds like a good option.
Yeah, I was just say we need, we'll put this on the budget or.
Well, it's, believe it or not, our budget already would cover the cost. So it's just a matter of giving me the authority to sign the contract with Civic Plus.
We have a motion,
So
so
we moved.
Second.
moved by Nick, seconded by Thorne to authorize, Director of Finance to continue conversations with Civic Plus and to sign the necessary agreement with Civic Plus. Any further comments, questions, or discussion? There being none. Roll call.
Mr. Prano,
Aye.
Mr. Nimitz,
Aye.
Mr. Dattley,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Mr. Harden.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, no negative votes, no motion so passes. Thank you all.
On behalf of the clerk. Very much
Thank you
appreciate
very much.
it. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Eugene. Moving on, comments from the public.
Uh-oh.
Mike?
Marchesky.
Marchesky. Trying to get into the Sweet 16 with that name, huh?
Right, good evening, everyone. I had a few things here, but I'll do two of them. First off, when you guys do the minutes for these meetings, I understand they're volunteers that do it, is that correct?
No, I do it.
Oh, do you? Okay. Is there any way, unless it's happened recently, we can get more updated minutes from when the meetings actually occur? I read the minutes and sometimes maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks later, at least it used to be like last year. And the reason why is if there's information or business for the village that's occurring, I'd like to know in the moment for if we're gonna pick it up on the next meeting, I may attend. Does that make sense?
I can answer that if you want. Gee, I got 2 people.
Well, yeah, from a procedural standpoint, the minutes get prepared, they get submitted, and then they have to wait until the next meeting to be approved. They are not approved until that next meeting, so there's a 2-week gap automatically.
Okay, and that's fair, as long as the next meeting doesn't take care of the first meeting's minutes, is we then, the public is not aware of the business you're trying to take care of on the second meeting. Does that make sense?
Be on the agenda. It'd be on the,
It's also on the video.
and to the video too.
Right.
Okay, well, I don't have time for that, I just read the minutes, so.
The
The
agenda.
agenda will say like, I had an example here, I had to do a snowmobile and parking changes. So I have to watch that and then wonder what it relates to until the minutes come out once they get approved.
Right.
Well, give me
Okay, I'm just trying to, because I want the public involved,
Yeah.
because I'm sure it's the biggest turnout I've had in a while, probably, so I just want to make sure.
No, actually,
All right.
Sorry.
So the next thing I have is, summer's coming, and I know that the community is, active with the yard sales. And I'm not against them. But what I do have a problem with is that as times have changed, crime has increased. And we are blessed to have streets that no cross streets or through streets in Sleepy Hollow. I think it's nice insulator for to keep, elements out of the community that may be looking for trouble or crime or whatever. But I also know that we just don't enforce the sign regulations with yard sales. That people put up signs on Randall Road, they put them on public land to introduce people into the neighborhood. And all I ask is that the village, I believe it's an ordinance that you cannot put signs on public property, that we enforce that. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and I'm just trying not to provoke people from outside the community to come in and possibly have other motives than just shop the yard sales. Does that make sense? Because currently they're setting up signs on Randall, on public land, wherever. And I believe the ordinance says you can't do that. Is that correct?
Ordinances say no signs within public land. Now, Randall Road, though, the right of way belongs to the county.
I get
We
that.
cannot
I get that.
remove those signs.
Algonquin, for an example, they charge $50 fine per sign if it's on. So all I'm asking is just, the reason is, I want my neighbors to have their yard sales if that's what they want to do. But just, I'm more worried about crime than I am the yard sales. Does that make sense?
If they're in the entryway, the Saddle Club, then we can take those signs down, but if they're back into the right of way of Randall, then that's.
I get
county.
that. I get the county. I'm just making an example because I remember 15 years ago, they brought it up and they had this gentleman's, we weren't in office and his team take down signs, the police department, that's not the truth. So whoever we hire to manage that, again, I want my neighbors to have it, but my motive is I want everybody safe. If that makes sense. Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Okay, into the trustee reports, roads and parks, Mr. Harney.
Nothing new to report.
All right, thank you, Ed. Finance, will pass at this point, nothing to report. Water and sewer, Mr. Nemec.
Yeah, we got two things. The water project we've been talking about for a while now. Eugene and Jeff Steele have gotten together. They got a number for where did that money come from? ARPA money that we're gonna use for the